Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Golden Nuggets podcast. Hanafi here, and as usual, we have Ami Bashiruddin, the main host of the show, and he's gonna be co-partnering up with me, and we're gonna have to ask this beautiful person who we are gonna interview today. He is the founder and director of Social Jet, which is an influencer marketing agency, presenting to you Joel Wong. Hi, bro. Thank you for being here.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here in this beautiful studio.
All right, so Joel, so for our listeners who don't know you, can you share a bit more about yourself?
Yeah, I'm known to to my friends as a fun, cool guy.
Okay.
In business, I guess, was very, very heavily involved into e-commerce for about 6-7 years before starting now my marketing agency and eventually my other marketing agency right now. So I run 2 companies on the business side, Social Jet and Idila. We serve brands of different industries, different sizes, connecting them with influencers and content creators and running all their full funnel marketing systems and just basically driving bottom line ROI on social media.
Okay, so before we go any further, right? First, I want to apologize. Apologize because
What did you do?
About 5 months ago, I responded to your ad, and then we were supposed to have a meeting,
Okay.
but then I kind of like ghosted you because we were actually in a different time zone. Lah.
Wait, you were in a different time zone or I was in a different time
I was in a different time zone.
Okay, where were you at?
I was in London at the point of time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So apologies for ghosting you for that call.
I mean, you were in London enjoying yourself, so all is forgiven.
Priorities.
Yeah.
People ghost all the time. It's fine. Now we're back here.
Yeah. But anyway, can you share a bit more about your background? Like, what were you studying before this? Like, how do you eventually got into e-commerce before you start your business?
Okay, personal background. So I think I was very lucky because I haven't shared this before in the past, right? But my mom gave me that initial start into my first few baby steps as a I wouldn't even call it an entrepreneur, but like someone who want to dabble into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Right. So back then it was a lot of blog shops. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with blogger.com,
yes.
your blog shops. So my mom basically had a friend who basically supplied me with very cheap jewelry. So not real diamonds, nothing of that. But like talking about $5-10 jewelry, necklaces, targeted to ladies, right?
Okay.
I basically bought it in bulk. When I say buy in bulk, I mean like I think $200-300.
Okay.
Completely supported by my mother, so not even my money, right? But then I set up the blog shop. Ran it on Blogger, and then sent that domain out to several friends in primary school. And then of course my mom supported it, sent it to her friends, and then eventually some orders came in, not via a payment processor, so completely manual, right? I think back then it was text messages or WhatsApp, and manually order processing, and then that basically started my my mini entrepreneurship journey.
Okay.
Then eventually explored different marketplaces.
This was in when you were in primary school.
Primary
secondary
school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
B6, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Do your parents run business?
No, they don't. Yeah.
But they were supporting you with the whole idea of
Yes. Yes.
Early
That's
on.
good because like a lot of parents who are not exposed to entrepreneurship usually tend to not allow or not what's the better word, not support in terms of if their children want to go into entrepreneurship because they know that it's not stable. They feel like it's not an iron rice bowl. It's a hit and miss for a lot of people. But it's good that your parents actually support you.
They support me because I was also still schooling, right? So I didn't drop school altogether to pursue entrepreneurship or come up with a startup, that doesn't pay anything, right?
Yeah.
So I think they were still very supportive. They are still very supportive. But that kickstarted everything for me, right? Those first few baby steps. Eventually, I went on to different marketplaces. G Market, right now it's known as Q10, QO10.
Yeah.
I sold licensed.
Market. It's been so long since
Yes, you were back then there already. eBay, G Market.
eBay, yes, correct.
But basically, was selling licensed flash drives, thumb drives,
Okay.
different IP like Marvel and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then basically sold it there. Did about five grand in sales.
Okay.
Which back then for me, P6, Sec 1, that kind of
Yeah, of course.
age, that was good money for me.
Yeah.
Right. Then eventually started expanding the product lines, started taking items from China, camping chairs, random clothing pieces, basically cheap clothing, cheap items, creating a brand out of it, and then selling it to different markets.
Okay.
And then that basically, expanded my journey online.
And this was all like your customers were mainly Singaporeans.
No, for the blog shop, yes, right.
Okay.
Small little items, Singapore, yes.
Yeah.
Eventually, when I started scaling up, then I served mainly China items, selling to US and EU markets.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Singapore market is smaller, bro.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
But at the point of time, like, were you still in the secondary one that period? Or?
Yes, still schooling.
Okay.
Yeah, still schooling. So I never really I didn't do too well in school. In fact, that was never my priority, my focus.
Yeah.
Back then I was already, my dad gave me a laptop. We were sharing it with both my other brothers. I was gaming, Maple Story, Audition, your usual suspects.
Yeah.
But I was also going online. I remember a lot of community forums, right? Last time it was Forum Motion, which is a forum software. PHP BB, which I, downloaded that and then created my own forum.
Okay.
Right, using that software. And then basically venturing a lot of deep dark places of the web, including the dark web, right? But trying to figure out, how to code my website, HTML, CSS back then, right?
Yeah.
And then that sort of started the journey of creating an online store.
Okay.
Yeah, but all this was still while doing school full time.
Yeah.
You sound like a smarter version of me, doing all the whole dark web and coding and so on.
Now
And
you're vibe coding.
PHP, BB and whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, I
You
totally
remember-
know. Yeah,
yeah, you
I know all
remember
those
those
things, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, that being said, and you see that you can actually make money. Like, have you ever thought of dropping out at a point of time?
No, not until I was in early days of polytechnic.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up in a very normal household.
Yeah.
Great values, great upbringing, great parents, great brothers. So, the last thing you want to do is, fall out of line, right? And go start your own journey, leave school and, drop out and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then that shifted for me, I think early polytechnic. I think I sort of broke out of my shell when I was like 15, 16 years old. And then that began a bit of experimenting with what I want to do in life.
Okay.
And also that pushed the limits of where my parents can accept or expand into,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I think it's normal, right, for people that age. No matter what you are doing, I think it's pretty much normal.
Yeah, you're experimenting. You make mistakes sometimes.
But how much were you making, if you can recall, back then when you were 15?
So the community forums part, I sold the website, right? After building it for 2 years, we had about 58,000 forum posts. I remember very clearly, right? About 30,000 members.
Okay.
Right, so average post per member, I don't know, 2 or 3. Right, I sold it to a US guy, not a company, like just one guy, for about $2,500 After building it for 2 years, I felt like, wow, $2,000 to my PayPal account. That was the best thing ever, right? But I realized that was the worst deal of my life, right?
Yeah.
But that $2,000 allowed me to fund, $2,000 allowed me to fund other stuff in my entrepreneurship journey. And of course, I made it, right? I sold my website.
Yeah.
My life's work, 2 years of life's work, all my access, all my data, all my members, all the posts in the community forum for $2,000. Then from there, started transitioning into selling physical products, marketplaces I dabbled into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you sell the website? Fiverr? No, sorry. What's the name of it? I forgot the name of the platform.
It was a webmaster forum. So
Webmaster
there was a lot
forum,
of like different marketplaces
I
that
see,
people,
okay.
Exchange, collaborate, even sell their websites. So I sold the domain, transferred everything via Namecheap, and then they got everything. Yeah.
So do you eventually went into IT when you were in poly or?
No, not professionally, not academically.
Okay.
But I did a lot of learning online. YouTube. I mean, I learned from the gurus.
Yeah.
Right, and more than enough. Right, YouTube. You spend 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks, couple of months as a young little kid. You learn things very quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But what do you study then?
In school, primary school, the normal stuff. Secondary school, also I think the normal stuff.
Poly?
Poly, I think I did communication design. So design.
Communication design.
Com design.
Yes. So photography, UI, UX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, are you into that at all?
No. No. Back then,
So,
yes.
so why do you choose that? Like, I mean, like, your experience so far, there's nothing
Related
related
to
to design.
photography and comms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know actually. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm also proud to share it, right? Although I don't share it often. I came from ITE, right? So in secondary school, I didn't do well. I went to ITE. I worked my ass off in ITE, and I made the best friends and figured myself even better.
Okay.
So after 2 years in NITEC, I immediately could transition to poly, right? If you're in the top, I don't know what percent.
Yeah.
So I was very blessed enough to be able to do that. So during poly, I think I can only select a handful of courses that from NITEC in ITE, you can transition into poly.
Yeah.
So you can't pick like everything.
Yes.
So you have a selected list. So out of all the lists I was given, I was like, okay, communication design seemed
Sounds
to me like the
interesting.
best route. So I picked that. No regrets, right? But of course, what I'm doing right now, not really related to that. Yeah.
Is it really not related to that?
I mean, it gave me the foundations, the fundamentals,
Yeah.
but what I'm doing professionally, not really, no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, like so far throughout your journey, right? You learn everything online. Do you think like nowadays it is actually sufficient for people not to go to school and just learn everything online? Considering now we have AI, just now we were talking about ChatGPT, the different type of tools out there, and then even for design example, just now we were talking about like HeyGen, as one of the main video editing software that we have. So, do you think it's necessary nowadays?
I already know the answer to this, but I don't want to answer too quickly. If not, it seems like I hate the education system. But the answer is yes. Right? You don't need to go to a formal institution, a physical space, school for 5 years to pick up XYZ subjects. Right? I mean AI. Even when I'm doing in poly back then, communication design, AI has completely revamped everything. I mean, every industry has been changed, has been touched by AI. There's no one single industry that has not been affected. Right? With automation, with AI, so many different things. So I think a lot of things can be learned online. There is huge amount of information. But I think a school system gives you structure, instills that discipline. And if you're someone that needs that structure, then a formal place like a school, physical space will be good. But if you know clearly what you want to do and you know roughly how to get there, then I think you find mentors online, you find teachers online, you subscribe to online courses, and you're a very hardworking individual. I think it's more than enough to just pick up stuff online. Yeah, I mean, you look at all the young kids right now, 13, 14-year-olds, they're vibe coding, in their own homes. They're not learning this in school. There is no proper vibe coding school formally recognized by the government yet. I mean, not so much in Singapore, but the rest of the world, right? So I think a lot of things can be learned online, definitely.
And what about business? Do you think like so far you are currently running 2 businesses, right? Do you think business is something that you can actually learn online, or do you think it's only by experience?
Both. You have to read the book and then you have to actually go out and do the actions, right? So learning the fundamentals can be via a short MBA of sorts, not a formal MBA but a short MBA, or even online. Then when you actually put that into practice, into a real business, whether it's a Kickstarter project, whether it's an online business, whether it's a home-based business, whether it's a real F&B restaurant, whether it's selling physical products in a shop, in a marketplace, online, right? Then your business fundamentals will give you a bit of that foundation to launch a business. Because like if you don't do your proper market research, you just want to, I like plants, I want to sell plants. And then, I really love plants. So you could immediately launch a business. You buy a domain, you list up the products. Then you realize, I don't have a business model to this. I only like plants, I'm selling the products. Nobody's buying, there's no marketing funnel. I don't know how to price properly. I don't know who my competitors are. I don't know how to analyze them properly. There is no proper research done. You don't know which market to target, to enter into first. There is no launch plan. Then that's why the fundamentals definitely matter. But most importantly, I mean, as you guys probably would know, a lot of people that study business are not perfect when they actually launch a business. People who are, MBA peeps, right? The people that really launch good businesses, I think, are the ones that also come out of, not from a formal education institution as well.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday I was having a conversation with my friend, and we are actually starting to see the trend of business owners. Maybe they drop out from school, maybe they completed maybe just a diploma, but then run a business, and when the business has take off and was successful, then they eventually take their MBA. Yeah, so I think this new journey is much more interesting, and it's just an upgrade in terms of the knowledge that they have, because they know that they already have the experience. They want to see what else that they need to have in terms of knowledge, in terms of framework that they can actually implement into their business, which I think should be something that our entire education system should work around. Like nowadays I see more and more work study diploma, and I think it's a very progressive thing as compared to back then, where we study for 2.5 years and then maybe the final year we go for the attachment, which we won't really earn much. But nowadays it's while you are studying, while you are working, you're also studying. So I think that is something very interesting.
Yeah, there is a new way and then there's the old way, right? So that's the old way. The new way is really, I mean, you definitely, keep your job, get the money coming in, 9 to 5, right? You go home. But what matters after that, of course, is your 5 to 10 or 5 to 12, right? What happens after your work hours? You can be in your own room, building an online business, right? Building a secondary source of income. Nobody gets rich from one singular source of income, right? And especially if you have that entrepreneur's itch, if you want to start a business, I think people always find a way. Like you can't like, if you want to start a business, there's no way you can just keep it under the pillow. Like you'll keep thinking about it, and eventually, by hook or by crook, you'll find a way to launch it. Whether you fail, whether you succeed, you will still find a way to launch it. So I think that's the entrepreneur's bug.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you a question. Like, because like for example, you built the forum even without the formal education, right? But now that you've really sold it, and years later, have you ever wondered about? Have you ever even check the website, reminisce about the website, wonder what could have been with the website, the forum?
I mean, if you ask me, I mean, it's a bit technical, but it was a webmaster forum, right? Mainly US users, UK, people in Europe as well. Basically, it's a connection, it's a platform where for other forum owners could come in, learn from each other, share tips, how to grow their communities. I mean, think about communities right now. I mean, this is the trend, right? Everybody's building communities.
It's like coming back, right?
Yeah, it's coming back again.
In different forms.
Yeah, Web 2.0 is now, it's coming back again. But could it be something bigger? 100%. Yeah. But back then, it just, I made the good decision from what I had back then. And now I'm here. So, yeah.
Okay. What about those times when you're building that forum, right? What have you learned back then that shapes you to be who you are managing your own current social jet, the influencer marketing agency?
I think back then the forum gave me a lot of different perspectives from many, many different users. Right, being the administrator, the founder of the forum, a lot of people chat up with you online, right? So a lot of friends that I made when I was in primary, secondary school, a lot of the people that I speak to are all online people. I've never met them in person. Right, back then I was like, oh wow, you have so many online friends. That's so weird, And now of course everybody's connecting with people online. Now you just reach out, you outreach to someone on LinkedIn, on Instagram. It's not weird. You email outreach, you do whatever sorts of ways, right? But back then, when I was in 2008, 2010, 2012-ish, that was like that. People were not doing that yet. It was still not a thing that people want to explore.
Yeah, true.
So I think for communities, building that is very important.
Yeah, I mean nowadays I see a lot of ads about school. Yeah, so I think it's really interesting. More and more people are really moving to the direction where community building is the main driver of the business.
Always add value to your community members, grow the community. Then slowly you can find a way to monetize that through different ladders, different channels, different means. But 100% you can make a living out of just completely from starting a community from scratch.
So are you right now in any communities?
I'm a part of different networks, different communities. Some I pay for access to, yearly memberships whatsoever. But I don't have a formal community where I'm charging people for. I teach business owners in Singapore how to run their influencer strategies. So that's part of a business boot camp, but not really a community yet. We have a community of influencers at SocialJet, about 1,500 influencers right now in Singapore alone. But other than that, no other formal communities.
Okay. You basically start your entrepreneurial journey quite young, right? Do you eventually maybe work a 9 to 5 before?
I worked as a banquet, not servant, banquet waiter.
Server.
Wait, I was at a wedding, a good friend's wedding the other day, right? So looking at the banquet staff again, at the hotel. This was a 5-star hotel, I think back in, I don't know, when I was in secondary school. I worked there for 2 days. I can't remember which hotel.
Shangri-La?
Mandarin, not Mandarin Oriental, Marina Mandarin or something.
Marina Mandarin, okay.
Yeah, so 5-star hotel. I remember very clearly because I had zero training and my friend put me, I was in secondary school. He said, hey, tonight there's a there's an opportunity tonight. And they pay you like $10 or $15 an hour. I was like, oh, let's do it. I'm so excited. More because I need the money, yes, number one. But number two, I was like, okay, I want to get out there. I want to serve people. I want to feel like how it's like to put on a uniform and go out to work. Genuinely, that was my interest, right? So I said, okay, sign me up. So I went there. I had zero formal training. And when I was there, immediately I just get slammed into this work mode, right? They teach you how to serve fish with one hand and holding 2 utensils, portion the fish. And then I had zero training. Then I was serving people at their grand day, their wedding. And I was like portioning fish and the fish was all mashed up. But the people, the guests were very nice to me. And then I remember this very clear moment because the bride and the groom came up to me with a wine glass, right? And everybody was looking at me. So I was supposed to serve. So the bottle was on the table. So I picked it up. The manager was beside me like, oh shit, this guy is new, right? Then I just served. And then I remember I went past the half glass mark. For
Okay.
wine, I know this is, this is,
yeah.
you guys don't drink, but for wine, you don't pass the half,
Yeah.
it's somewhere down below.
Yeah.
And I went over the half mark, and then the manager told me, stop, enough. Then I was like, okay. So that was a very fun moment of the banquet life.
Okay, but like in terms of office job, 9 to 5, full-time employee, were you ever doing that before you start your business?
No. Yeah. But I mean, in office space, yes, right now at both my companies. But, a formal office role, 9 to 5. Internships, yes. Other than that, no. Yeah.
So you were pretty clear from young that you are going to run your own business.
Yes. Yes.
How do you eventually pivot from e-commerce, which is something that you are doing by yourself, to really running a business?
I mean, I had a lot of failed businesses in between, right? For example, I launched a automatic watch on Kickstarter.
Oh.
Right, that didn't take off. I spent 3 months trying to build up a launch plan. When we launched, we had like 10 backers, barely enough to for a few MOQs from the factory in Switzerland. So that fell flat. I started a dried flower business. It was fun, but I wasn't bringing in money, so it was for vibes.
Okay.
So not a real business. But I think eventually, from the e-commerce clothing line, that was my first big break, 7-figure clothing line. Basically taking clothing from China, selling it to Europe, US, cheap clothing, and then selling it at a premium price point after you build a brand with it and a brand story. Then using that, I started the marketing agency because I basically thought, using the experience that I did for my e-commerce clothing line, started from scratch, no brick and mortar, completely online on Shopify, WooCommerce and Shopify. I thought, why not I help business owners to also launch a brand, scale their business using that same marketing strategies that I did for my own brand. So that's how Social Jet formed. So running it for about 3.5 years right now, we've executed more than 300 campaigns. So I think it's been a really fun journey, moving from physical products to now B2B services, which I find very fulfilling.
I see.
Maybe I got one last question before we end this part one, which is a lot of business owners, they call themselves, right? And they actually turn out to be like freelancer. They work solo, right? They are stuck in the S quadrant, right? When we talk about the ESBI.
Yeah.
So how did you go from, because I understand whenever you share all the different businesses that you have, it all seems to be like you've been running it solo, right? Until you come to a point where you are starting your agency, where you really build a team and so on. So what's the bridge there? Like, how did you go from being from the S quadrant into the B quadrant?
I think first off, if you can start something today online, right, by yourself, then power to you, right? I think that's the best thing. That's the best power, superpower, in this day. I don't think you always need a big team around you. You want to prove the business can bring in money first before you start hiring. And when you hire, of course, hire virtual assistants. Then maybe if it makes sense, then physical team members who can be beside you every day, right? So I did start on my own as a freelancer, so to speak. So the first couple of clients or even products that we brought in, customers that we served, they maybe have thought, that we have a very big team behind when actually just me and then maybe one other freelancer supporting me with that. I think that's just how you got to start in business, right? That unless you have a lot of money in your bank account or your parents are super supportive in terms of cash or you have VCs backing you up, then you can immediately hire. But for 99% of the people out there, I don't think you should be hiring immediately until there is money coming in, until it's a bit more proven, right? If not, you're going to be burning money at the start. Then, the journey won't be as fun. So I think it's okay to start as a freelancer. Position yourself well. I mean, even if you are a freelancer, don't tell people, I'm only a freelancer. Obviously, you want to build a brand, a studio, a back end, a business model around it. So at least people know that, even if you might be a freelancer, you have a system around it. You have people that you can tap on. You are connected to other networks across outside of just Singapore. So I think leveraging other people's strengths as well, not just only riding on, I'm a freelancer, I'm a personal brand. Yeah.
Currently, Social Jet, are you doing campaigns overseas also?
Mainly in Singapore. 80%-ish of our campaigns are based in Singapore. Then several others, APAC, and then some US campaigns. Team of 22 right now, with about 60 members in Singapore. The rest in Malaysia and the Philippines.
Okay. I think on the second part, we are going to ask you more about brand story, because just now when you mentioned about that, I think that's really important. And also how you eventually acquire overseas clients for your Social Jet, because I think this is something a lot of business owners need to learn, because Singapore's market is really small.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay,
you
so
need to
second
get
part
out.
is basically more tactical.
Yeah, more tactical, more about your business, more about
Okay.
social jet and running a business as a whole instead of less personal.
Yes.
But maybe some of the things that you are going through running everything as a business owner.
Okay, see you guys in part 2 then.
All right, thanks for closing this part 1 for me. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hey guys, welcome back to the Golden Nuggets podcast. We still have Joel here, and we are at part 2.
Yeah.
Okay, Ami, come take it away.
Okay, so Joel, just now you were talking about how you build a 7-figure business through your e-commerce business by selling about the brand story, right? I'm really curious about that because what was the brand that you actually sold? Like, what was the name of the brand, and also what was the brand story that you actually shared with the consumers for them to be attracted to your brand?
So in terms of consumers, I mean the brand story, to be honest, it was very basic.
Okay.
This was in 2016 when I launched it. This is way before, or rather, as dropshipping started to really take a small rise.
Yeah.
Right now, it's very prevalent. So basically selling streetwear for men, right?
Okay.
So holes in the jeans, holes in the t-shirts. We're talking about MOQ of maybe 100 pieces, so not very high, from this factory in China. They own the whole product line, the whole catalog. They had like, I think 200 to 300 new pieces launched every quarter. From there, I will basically pick what I think would sell well,
Okay.
and then I'll launch it in Singapore.
Oh.
Right? I mean, in the market here. Then eventually Singapore was too small. Then eventually US, Europe.
Okay.
So in terms of the brand story, it's just telling people that hey, it's good quality clothing at very good value pricing. So it's designer clothing at very wallet friendly prices, and then giving them a bunch of different options, and then running good content around it. People picked on.
Okay. 2016, and you were already running content around that.
I mean, when we talk about content, it's just posting on Instagram. There was a lot of carousels, no reels, barely any videos, right? There was still statics, not even short form or long form.
Was there IGTV at that point of time?
No, not yet.
I'm not too
IGTV
sure.
slightly later.
Slightly later, but now it's gone.
Yeah. Now because everything become reels.
Yeah, I think IGTV was just before COVID lah. Yeah, but anyway, So how important is brand story like to any businesses out there? Is it really important for all types of businesses or only product based business?
Brand story is important. Whether you sell home-based service, whether you're service-based, whether you sell a physical product, whether you're in a B2C, whether you're in a B2B, every industry, every niche, you have to have a brand story. People don't buy the product; they buy the story around the product. They buy the founder, they buy the team around it. So if you have zero strategy, zero investment into building that story, it's going to be really tough to sustain moving forward. Maybe your product is really, really good, but to really sustain the business, story must be strong. Also for the long game, right? Investors, if you want to exit in the future, if there's no story, then you only have a product. And China is going to eat you up.
That's true. Yeah. You'll be undercut, in other words.
Yeah.
Whereas a story is something that is, you can't put a price tag to it, I believe, right?
Lululemon, for example, like the clothing is great, product is great, but the story around it, the ambassador program, the people that rock their clothing, is very different. That's why Nike's yoga wear or Nike's active wear, their rev, it doesn't come anywhere near what Lululemon is doing.
Okay.
You should be a Lululemon ambassador.
Not big enough yet. Not fit or not big enough.
Hanafi, just now you wanted to ask Joel
yes.
something.
I do have a question. Like before you actually start a marketing agency, right, or rather social jet, you noticed like there was a shift in the post iOS 14, and that makes you want to double down with the whole influencer marketing. And if you could share, maybe just for the sake of the audience, what's that post iOS 14 change or shift? And why did you double down?
Yeah, essentially as a one-liner is it makes tracking even harder.
Yeah.
Right? It messes up attribution. I think a lot of marketers saw that coming. Right? People are trying to get more, trying to get all sorts of tracking on you, right? All the metrics as much as possible, follow you around everywhere. And then iOS, of course, with that new update, took away Zuckerberg's chunk of money for a while, or so we thought, right? But eventually people didn't care, right? They found many ways to go around it. It's not like they dropped Meta altogether, right? So even with iOS 14, post iOS 14, all these different changes that happen, bottom line, how I saw it is people still need content. Businesses still need content to thrive. Influencers, content creators will still be a thing, whether it's AI generated or not, right? Content is the bottom line. So even with harder tracking, rising ad costs, everybody jumping into influencers these days, all brands have some sort of influencer strategy, right? The bottom line is people still need it. So double down on it. I didn't see a problem with it. Yeah.
And you starting Social Jet, right? Like what was the main trigger for you to do that? Like why influencer marketing?
Yeah, you got so many things.
Yeah,
You've done so many things.
You can do
Yeah.
I can do like what everybody does, just do digital marketing, right? Why
I think-
why influencer marketing?
I mean, using the experience from my e-commerce clothing company, right? I knew what worked for me, so I guess many different things, right? I could go and figure out how to create websites for people, design Shopify landing pages, run their paid media, consult with them end to end on how to start an e-commerce company, clothing brand, for example. Right? They really narrow down that. But I felt like, okay, what's sexy to sell, right? What's easier to sell? If you talk about paid media, there's so much technical elements. Talk about SEO, there's so much technical elements. You talk about influencer content, everybody gets it very quickly. You don't have to really explain. But therein lies the second problem, right?
Okay.
The baked-in problem, which is now you're a commodity. Because now if you're an influencer agency, now people are like, oh, I also have influencers. I also have influencer content. I also can reach out to influencers.
Yeah.
So then we realize it's not really about the influencers. It's not about how many influencers you know. It's the strategy behind it, the content strategy.
Yeah.
And people can have the best influencers pay Naomi Neo, Tian Hao, 20, 30 grand for a 30-second TikTok video.
Clip, yeah.
Right? But if there's no proper funnel to track it,
Yes.
and your target market is not even mainly in Singapore, then you're going to pay a lot of money for good eyeballs, but not actual converting customers that can be actual product buyers of your product. Right? For example, certain influencers out there, only 30% of the followers are based in Singapore. Most of them based in the US, for example. And do you want to pay 5 figures for such influencers if you're only selling in Singapore? I think the answer should be no, right? But if you want the vibes, the views, you want the awareness, you want to be associated with this face, this person, then sure, spend that kind of money. But from how I look at it, most business owners, most brands, they can benefit heavily from nano and micro influencers who are not celebrities, who are not big names, right? Better bang for buck, more cost effective, and you can test many different faces, many different content with different people at a lower price point.
I mean, because we are all doing some sort of marketing, right? So we actually get it. We actually get how the funnel works on back end, how you can actually track everything. But I would say 99% of the people out there, they only look at the number of views and they feel that is the most important metric. How do you juggle the time between advocating about views are not the only metric that matters, and also helping them in terms of allowing them to understand how the funnel actually works?
I think views are cool, right? What's better is, of course, the sales, the bottom line numbers, the growth, whether it's a lead generation effort, whether it's an app install, whether it's a product purchase, whether it's driving people down to your actual showroom, to your actual place, right? So foot traffic. I think for most brands that we work with, the SMBs, they prioritize bottom line metric. Right, certain brands that we work with, enterprises, they prioritize the awareness, the top of mind recall. For example, Citibank, for example, Coca-Cola, right? But I think 60-70% of the brands that we work with, SMBs in Singapore, right, they don't prioritize awareness. Right. In fact, a lot of people come to us, they say, oh, we have 100K views on TikTok, 500,000 views. My always follow-up question is, okay, how much sales did you get from that? How much store traffic did you receive, after the video went viral? They always either reply to things, right? Either I don't know, I can't track, I have just no idea, or zero. I didn't notice a spike in sales. I didn't notice a spike in XYZ. So then you have beautiful views, but those are just empty, right? So I think a lot of business owners these days, especially the SMBs, they are not prioritizing views as much anymore. And it's so easy to go viral online right now. Right? You create, you also know it's quite easy to go viral online.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like for podcast marketing, right? It's something that most people don't get it yet, or they don't really understand how they can actually use this as a tool to really drive their sales, right? I find myself like having difficulty in terms of really going to a sales meeting and advocating and talking about conversion, because again, 99% of people will just say, you are doing this, but your views is only like this.
For podcast marketing, it's a completely different thing altogether. I think it works, right? I mean, you collect your monthly views, you put it down on dashboard. How many people in Singapore? What's the age group breakdown like? How many people actually respond to certain surveys or feedback forms or certain landing pages that you guys want to deliver on your podcast? And then you can show that as proof that actually our buyers are listening. I mean, our viewers are listening. They're watching till the end, for example. What's the percentage of the completion rate? And from there, you can sell ad spots. If you guys are giving water bottles, you can sell it to maybe coconuts, for example, or some other brands that want to have space. On the mics, you can have product sponsored, for example. But they must understand the podcast marketing works very differently from your traditional digital marketing ads.
Yeah, because a lot of people, when they come to me or they come to us, they have the mindset that we are actually another version of influencer marketing.
I mean, you guys are a good brand, right? You have people watching you, so you are influencers, you are content creators. But maybe their perception of influencers, must be 1 million views, right? Must be 100,000 followers, right? But everybody's an influencer, right? Everybody has a platform, and you guys have different platforms as well on your personal side, and of course on a podcast, on your different agency level as well. So I think it's whether business owners can get it.
Yeah, true. And for you personally, right? Like, and this is also something I face. Like, a lot of businesses, as you know, they are looking at the wrong metric. Like you mentioned, what matters is really the bottom line. And for them to get to the bottom line, that there are certain things that needs to be fixed. How do you ensure that when you go for a sales meeting, you help them fix all these problems before they get to the bottom line? And like, do you feel like you are actually giving free marketing advice to them? Like, do you ever feel like maybe I should be your CMO instead?
Or does it feel like you're giving free consultation technically?
Yeah.
Every day we give free consultations, right? I think that's fine. We also learn through these consultations when business owners come on a call with us on Zoom, or whether it's a business meeting in person, or even on a chat, right? Even via this, or even yesterday at a networking event with a good friend. You learn as well through these conversations, right? So as much as it's a free advice or consultation, we also learn through it. But it's fine, we give out free stuff, right? In fact, most of the stuff that we put out, 99% of people don't even put action to it. We put out so many free books on influencer strategies. We give out so many tidbits of information online. We share the exact strategies of how we actually execute campaigns at our agency. But barely anybody's doing it. They want someone to handhold them. They want someone to do it for them. Right? So I don't mind giving the advice. Even my team members, my sales team, on a simple sales call, 30, 45 minutes, we break down the different pain points, the different strategies, what's working, what cannot be working for their brand. By the end of the day, we don't mind giving out the advice, right? But obviously, that part is only the first part of the puzzle. Executing on it properly, that's another part of the puzzle.
That's true.
Following up, optimizing it thereafter, what's the next steps, those are very important.
Do you run classes for business owners?
We ran several webinars, several keynotes, but that's not really a class. But the one formal class that I did together with my team and Joshua as well, which you guys also spoke to previously, at this same studio, right? It's a boot camp, right? It's a 2-day influencer boot camp where we taught, I think, a class size of about 30 business owners, all from Singapore, right? 2 days at a beautiful hotel in the city. And then we basically taught them exactly how we executed influencer strategies and how they can do it themselves. So it's like, we give you everything, you can do it yourself, right? And then most of them followed up. Most of them actually launched an influencer strategy a few days, some after a few weeks after that program. And we hear some very good feedback, right? But then, of course, after a while, the follow-up is still very important, right? So we do check in with them some time to time. Some of them have already followed up on good items. Some of them already lost out, or they are busy with other shiny objects in marketing. But yeah, this is something that we have done. This was early this year, April.
Okay, was that the only one time that you guys did this?
That was the only one time. We want to do it again early next year.
Okay.
Yeah, we are supposed to do it actually end of Q4. Actually, we're supposed to do one. We had a very nice hotel already. Actually, Raffles.
Okay.
Very beautiful hotel.
Nice.
We have a good lobang there. Okay, maybe cut it part out. But we called it off because we realized we were doing so much things. Right, company is scaling right now. I think we hired. Over the last 2 quarters, we've hired more people than the whole of last year combined. Right, so my 2 other business partners, Charlie, Caleb, the advice was very simple, right? If now you're not busy, then I would say go and chase that bootcamp version 2, right? But now since you guys are super busy and there's so many opportunities on the table, then why not push it back to early next year, right? There's no big loss. So that's what we're gonna do. So early next year we're gonna do our second run.
Okay, nice. For that second event, right? Like how many people are you expecting to have for the class?
Well, again, Singapore's market is small, right? Some business owners value that. Some business owners come to us and say, hey, I don't want to join a 2-day course. I have no time. I can't make it for this date. I got too many things on my plate. Just do it for me, right? But ideally, we want to have at least 50 people in the classroom.
Was there any challenge that you actually faced when you were taking that first class?
Oh, definitely. A lot of learning points.
Like, because like, I think we as marketers, we also know that a lot of business owners, when they come to us, they don't even know their offers, for example. You know, like, is this something that you actually cover during your class with them?
Not too much on the basic fundamentals. People that already joined, they should have already launched a business or are going to launch a business. They're quite clear of their product, their price point, how they want to monetize, how they want to profit from that. Of course, we do a bit of that, but most of the strategies that we discuss over the 2 days is really on how to launch an influencer strategy. So it's straight down to it, right? We talk about how to improve your offer, how to bundle your products better, how to stand out from your competitors, right? So we don't really touch on the too much of the basic side of the business. But of course, during the 2 days, we go through a lot of different questions as different people might need, and our team will be there. Yeah.
Okay. How much is this cost?
2,997.
Okay.
Yeah. One-time fee. That's it.
297 for 3 of us?
Well, if you're from the same company, then you can just cover your seat, which is just basic F&B costs. So we don't charge, another 2,997 for the same employee of the same company. Yeah.
Okay. You have your landing page already, right?
Yes.
Yeah, can. We can put the link down below.
Okay, sure, yeah. Why not? That'll be fun.
Yeah. Because I think your episode will be coming out most probably around next month.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think just
December,
nice.
let's go.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you because these people, like when they go for your workshop or boot camp, right? You mentioned it's 2 days. Do they usually sign up with Social Jet after that, or do they have like issues? And I think this is probably going to be one of the most common questions that you get. If I have a very limited budget, can I still dive into like influencer marketing? So yeah, I got like 3 questions there.
So it's a 2-part question. First part question, yes, there's a funnel involved, right? There will be additional selling, right, for those that need extra help. But if not, in those 2 days, most of them are already able to launch on their own. It's just whether they have the capacity to go and launch it on their own. If not, they can engage my team to, of course, do it for them, right? But I'll say a conversion rate of about 20%, 25% that wants to continue to engage our team post the bootcamp, right? No obligation, of course. Then the second part of the question, a lot of people come up to us, what is the minimum investment required to start an influencer strategy? I only have $500. I only have $1,000. I only have $2,000. Is that enough? Short answer is no, right? But reasonably yes, because you can get 2 influencers for maybe $500, 2 influencers for maybe $1,000, depending on the tiers, right? But we don't think that 2 or 3 influencers is going to be life-changing for you to understand the power of influencer marketing. Right, so we typically want to have a campaign that's at least 2 to 3 months, so we have more than enough time to test. True. The runway is enough. We can optimize along the way. We can test different faces. We can test different messages, test different offers as well. Right, and when we run the ads, we can also test different things in between, different audience groups as well. So, in short, if you only have, let's say 1K, I'd rather you put that budget into paid media, right? Get more revenue in the company. Then when you have at least 3 to 5K, then maybe talk about influencer strategy. But only 1K, you can employ and engage influencers with $1,000. But my recommendation is put that into something else. Get more money, get more funding, then explore influencers.
3 to 5K per month, or is it like an entire 3 months campaign?
It can be a one-off campaign. It'll be a small campaign, but results can already be seen from that. Then once you're confident, then of course double down, triple down accordingly.
Okay. I think a lot of people always get confused between influencer marketing and UGC marketing. Is there any difference between these two?
I think different agencies will have different, or marketers will have different definitions for that. For us, influencer marketing is we are leveraging the audience of the influencers, their followers, right? 10,000 followers, 50,000, 100,000 followers, right? UGCs is we're using the creator's face, not their followers. So using their face purely to market the product, the brand, the service.
Okay.
So they are storytellers, which then it should be heavily boosted by paid media. Yeah. Whereas if influencer marketing is organic level, of course we can do paid media as well, but then we are more leveraging on their followers, their audience already there. Yeah.
Okay. Because I think I myself get confused between UGC and also influencer marketing, because all this while I thought UGC marketing is basically someone who's not an influencer, but because they are a user of that product or that service, we get them to actually share or perhaps give a testimonial video, and then that content itself is considered a UGC content.
There's also another element of that. Yeah. So I mean, UGC is user generated, right? Can be customer generated, can be employee generated. So there's EGC as well. But bottom line is just someone creating content, talking about XYZ, sharing their story, and that will be the content piece that can be launched online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you foresee AI influencer like really taking over the market?
Already taking place, yeah. Kind of scary. Now it's like maybe 8 out of 10 videos I know it's probably AI, right?
I think that's just your algorithm.
Yeah, a lot of crappy AI.
I believe your algorithm is very similar to mine.
Yeah, probably. Right, but now 8 out of 10 videos I can call out that is AI, even though it's quite good, right?
Yeah.
But in 6 months, I don't think it's going to be a year. 6 months from now, I think it's going to be completely
so too,
reversed,
yeah.
right? Where 8 out of 10 videos is going to look so damn real. I don't even know if it's AI.
Yeah.
So that is definitely the direction we're going towards. I'm not scared of it, but I think a lot of it will change how businesses approach content. Bottom line is there still needs to be a marketing strategy.
But do you think AI influencers will actually replace the current influencers?
Yeah, considering there's quite a number of AI influencers now, and they are kind of like raking in the views.
Yes.
I think AI influencers will have their benefits, will have their advantages. They can create content, 1,000 versions of it in a few seconds with the right systems, right? But will it completely replace influencers, real human influencers? I don't think so.
Okay.
I think both sides will be beautiful. People always want to crave what they don't have. So if AI content is going to be flooded everywhere, which is the cheapest way to go about creating content, then people will crave what they cannot always get, which is then the trend will move to humans back again. Right? Same thing if everything is virtual, if we have a metaverse, so to speak, then people will crave more human experiences. They want to go out to meet people more.
Yes.
Right? So I think it's like, people want what they cannot get and what they cannot always see. So now the trend is going to AI. I think it's powerful, it's great, the content is amazing. But then we're going to see the trend going back to humans again.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that the market is going to look like, okay, we keep seeing all this AI influencer content, and some of them might not even know that it's from AI. But the problem herein lies when there's going to be an event. Will I see this influencer at this event during the? Will I see this ambassador, right, of Social Jet when I go for the bootcamp example?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's going to be another problem.
So does that mean eventually the real or the real people, the real influencers, the real classes or workshops, do you think like eventually it will be a much more premium price?
I mean, with more new technologies coming in, I think a lot of value add that businesses, agencies like us can help serve, right? I look at AI as like a huge line, sort of like following a huge trail, leaving a huge trail behind. And business owners are typically speaking quite slow to keep up, right? Not even talking about the corporate workspace, but just people who run businesses, right? The easiest way that they can use AI right now is just ChatGPT. But there's so many deeper ways you can use it, right? But I think a lot of people being left out for sure. They don't even know how to use it properly. So I think that's where us business owners, we can come in to actually serve them in the huge trail of people trying to catch up, right? Yeah.
And nowadays you see a lot of celebrities like Jake Paul, for example. You see him in so many different AI videos that people create, right? So like, do you think influencers, like the real life influencers, will also eventually be out of job because they can actually use this influencer's face and then create all these videos?
Will they be affected? And do you think they need to create a law that avoids people from using this kind of celebrity's face?
I think Jake Paul, what he's doing with that recent AI content fiasco, right? I think he's doing it really smart, right? He's basically taking something what people online are making fun of, and he's jumping right into it to build his personal brand, and of course his other product brands, which is genius, right? Always milking the hell out of it. There's no such thing as bad PR, right? With the future coming in, you talk about TikTok avatars, right? Which is like TikTok really says you can use your face, and then now you can just create content without actually creating content. I think it's amazing. Is it scary? 100%, right? But with the right actors in place, with the right safeguards in place, I do have faith that people can actually use AI avatars in a safe manner, right? Will celebrities get caught up? Yes, we've seen it before, right? Not the first time. Voices being used, similar face features being used. It's just part of the game. People can hate it, people can whine about it, but it's happening either way. Right? Then the bad actors always ruin the space. Then you have to talk about AI porn, for example, right? It's just part of the game. It sucks. There's a lot of bad actors, but people always find a way to go about it. But I still don't think you should, neglect AI because it's so dangerous, it's so scary.
That's true. One thing is that I have actually been thinking about in terms of scaling this company, right? It's actually coming up with AI influencers because it's easier for me to also market for businesses overseas. I just take their videos, do a B-roll, and then have one AI avatar down there to talk about their business. I think it's something really interesting, but I can't remember. I saw a video recently. This person said that eventually the internet is going to be a cesspool of fake contents out there. Yeah,
Meta already launched their AI app, right? Sora also launched their own AI app, but it's all purely AI content, and people love it. But like I said, though, if everybody starts putting out AI content out there, I think humans like us, we will crave the opposite. But I don't think it's going to stop. There's going to be a lot of AI content. I think it's honestly quite funny, the stuff I see online.
That's true. I mean, a lot of people enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. But eventually people get tired of it. People get bored of it. It's another AI content. Oh my gosh. Another Trump dancing around, flying to the moon content, right? So people get bored of it. But yeah, it's very powerful. It's very powerful.
What's the future plan for yourself and also Social Jet?
So we're scaling things up right now. I think we want to bundle in more services outside of just creator content. Our heart will always be forever with creator content, right? Creating creatives at scale, at rapid pace, and testing a lot of it through different paid media channels, also on organic levels. But I think next year, now that the team is about 22-ish right now, we want to be doing a lot more services, sort of creating a bit more sticky ways to serve our brands, our clients. Because right now they come to us, they only know us as the influencer guys, right? Which we are. But we want to do a lot more things that we think we can serve. So whether it's end-to-end consulting, end-to-end running the full Shopify pages, a lot of different formats that we can create content for, I think we can explore now that we have the capabilities. So it's been a good 3.5 years running it. Now we are in that stage that we really want to scale things up, ramp it up further.
And what's the future plan for Joel?
A lot of things planned for next year. I'll share it when time is good, but good stuff planned. I'm very excited for 2026. I think you guys close your eyes, it's gonna be Christmas already when this video is out. It's really very much soon, end of the year, right? People are gonna celebrate. 2026 I think is gonna be really exciting for everybody. As much as the world is changing very quickly, politically also very scary.
Yes, that's why.
I still think there's a lot of opportunity. And it's now more than ever easier to launch and run a business. So I think everybody should be optimistic about it. Surround yourself with the great people. Go for different community events, network well, and then hang out with the ones that you vibe with. You can't lose. You can't lose in this day and age.
So before we end our show, we have 2 more short segments. Hanafi, you want to take the second last segment?
So before I go with the rapid fire, there's one thing that, because we're talking about like connect and stay with like good people, so you guys can actually connect with Joel. How can they find you actually?
You can follow me on Instagram. That's the best way to connect. jewelwong.co. Yeah.
Right, cool. Okay, so now I have like a few questions. If you are ready,
let's go.
A few rapid fire questions. Before I may take it away with the final bonus question. Oh wow. The first question. The most overrated best practice influencer marketing right now.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Organic content. I think it's overrated.
Ouch. For Hanafi, it's like ouch.
Yeah, I'm not I think it works, but I'm just not a fan of organic. Only purely organic.
Okay. A creator you'd bet on for the next 12 months and why?
Putting a creator's name in place. Ooh, I bet on myself.
Yourself.
Nice.
Okay. Playing it safe. And I think probably you know why, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to share with people why would you bet on yourself?
Cannot lose one.
Cannot lose.
Bet on yourself, you never lose.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want people to play this, 12 months later, this influencer didn't take off. But now I know confirm will take off.
Okay. One metric you keep if you had to delete all the others.
One metric.
Yeah, one metric that you have to keep. If you have to delete everything else, there's only one metric that you can see.
You're talking about marketing as a
Yeah.
okay, hold rate. Your hold rate, which is how many people actually
Alright,
watch.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
What do great briefs always include?
The offer, the Godfather offer,
okay.
which is the offer that is not like what other competitors are pushing out. It has to be very unique. It has to make people not think twice about it. People will immediately buy. So the unique Godfather offer that will make people say yes.
Last but not least, I think this is a very good question. One thing you do to earn creator trust from day one.
From day one, creator trust, you have to build it, right? You don't earn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Invest in them. So for example, we launch our influencer party. We spend quite a bit of money launching a party in Marina Bay. 250 influencers, food, drinks, all covered. Then we went to C'est La Vie at the top of MBS. So invest in the creators. Don't just engage them for campaigns. Ask them, hang out with them, speak to them. Don't just talk business. And I think they will build good relationships. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I'm done, but I have one that I want to ask because I think it's going to benefit our listeners since most of them are going to be founders if they haven't yet already be one. So one mistake founders repeat with influencers.
Not running paid ads
Agree.
or running it poorly. Then say influencer marketing doesn't work. Yeah.
Or paid ad doesn't work.
Yeah. True.
Or organic content doesn't work.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm done.
Okay. So our bonus question. If let's say today you are stripped away from everything, you are only left with $88 in your bank account.
On an island.
No,
Okay. So in Singapore.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
In Singapore, that'll be
An
fine.
island, Singapore. Yeah. Yeah. So what would you do to actually rebuild back yourself and your business?
If I had nothing today, I lost both my businesses that I'm running right now. I had $0 in my bank account, for example. I would find products that I think would trend, that would go viral, and then launch a TikTok shop. It's free to start. You can start very fast. I'll be a live streamer. One possible way, in one alternate timeline, I'm a live streamer. I think I can sell things quite well. So I have to find products that I think I like personally, and I think can benefit humanity or Singaporeans, for example. I go online, live stream myself 16 hours a day until I get some level of money. Then I start an agency around it, teaching people how to sell online. There's one alternate timeline, right, that I can be doing. Yeah,
I love it. I love it so much.
Do you have any other alternate timeline?
many alternate timelines. I can be a boxer. I want to be a boxer.
Oh,
I want to be a boxer. No, I'm kidding. No.
No, you're not kidding.
A food critic. If you talk about other timelines.
Okay. But I love your answer.
yes.
But if I were to be in your position, if I were to be doing the same thing, live streaming 16 hours, once I get a certain money, I will dive into Byte Plus, which is ByteDance's main company, doing all the AI stuff, understand how they work stuff, create an AI live avatar so I don't have to keep selling. And then once everything is running on automated, then I will run the AI, the agency.
You know what's the crazy thing though? China is already ahead of that.
Bro, I know.
It's 24/7. You browse the feeds. People are just selling you stuff.
I have the access, by the way,
Yeah.
to the whole AI live.
I think Singapore is very slow to that.
Yeah.
I don't think our people were like, live streamers who are AI generated.
Not yet lah. I think maybe another 5 years lah.
5 years?
No,
Singaporeans are
possibly
always
3 to
Singaporeans are always like lagging behind
By five.
the actual trend.
We're
of
not that
5
far
years.
behind, like in general. But China is just it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's just a way ahead.
We just copy it. China, all the China stuff will come here.
Yeah.
Right? All the products of China. Podcasting, for example, is a US product, right?
Yeah.
China, of course, there's so much other stuff that we haven't really pulled in here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting answer. Live. I mean, selling live. I think that's very interesting. But what product do you think actually works best? Because nowadays, I see a lot of people selling mood kind of products. Like for example, gummies or some food that will actually give you reduce anxiety, help you sleep better. Do you think this kind of products actually is really trending, or is this something that
Those kind of products are the best to sell because it pulls on an emotion. They're selling the emotion, right? For example, creatine gummies is just something that's just going viral. But I think when you are a live streamer, the best part is you don't own the product. You barely own the logistics. So you just have to go there and just sell. You're a salesman. You just have to find products online that you think can do well. You bring them in via affiliate, TikTok affiliate, for example. Run a TikTok shop and then just sell. You don't have to care about running a brand. Just find a product that already works and then just sell it and then get paid handsomely well if you can do a good job. But usually this kind of businesses or trends will be hit and run. Right? So you have to keep finding new products. You can't be like only one product they're pushing out. Right? So I think that's a good way to make money today. I think people are already doing that very well, being paid 4 to 5 figures easily a month. Singaporeans that I personally know, right? It's not that hard. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for sharing with us about your journey and also the different strategies that you have, the strategies that you actually shared with other business owners during your workshop. I think our listeners can really benefit a lot from our whole conversation.
Yeah, it was fun, guys. It was fun.
Yeah, I think I cherish the conversation as well. But before we go, I think I want to ask Nazrin. Nazrin, do you have one question that you want to ask?
Nasrin's coming in now.
Yeah.
Wait, is the camera on him?
All right, so I think I don't need to be in the camera. So I just give you this one last question. Since our show is about the golden nuggets, right? For our viewers and listeners who want to know, want to be like you, let's say, want to start something, want to learn entrepreneurship, what is one golden nugget that we can extract from you in order to start?
Well, first of all, don't be me, right? Don't be like me. Be yourself. I think a lot of business owners or, starting up business owners, they always want to find out how to profit immediately, right? I think if you follow your heart, very cliche, I know. If you follow your heart, you build a product or a service that can really serve people. Don't think about finding out the profit yet, right? You must know the fundamentals, yes, but don't immediately go and chase profit, right? If your product works, if the story is strong, if you passionately love it, right? I think the profit will always follow. So always go down to the fundamentals. Ask yourself why you're starting this. Start with why, right? Simon's book, right? Start with why first before immediately, how can we, what is the monetization strategy for this? Right? I think you can know the fundamentals of that, but don't immediately jump into wanting to make money within the first couple of weeks or months.
Okay, Nazrin has given 2 thumbs up already. Okay, thank you so much, Joel, for being here, for being present, sharing with us all your wisdom. Guys, we have like about 83% of you who watches our YouTube and Spotify, but did not subscribe. Go and subscribe. And also, I need you to do me a favor. Check out Joel, check out Social Jet on social media. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in all the way until now. And of course, Joel, thank you for being here.
Thanks, guys. Beautiful place.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you guys. Don't be a stranger.